Hey everybody, Lewi MasterClass here. Today we're going to be looking at the task of being a factory worker. We're going to be taking the resources out of these um, resource transfer stations and getting them into the building that they need to go into. So again, Shift E will bring up anything within range, the resource container. So we'll take 2 carts of coal to put down in the coal furnaces or whatever building they're called. We'll see here in a second. And then Shift E again, we'll go to the other container and we'll take some scrap. So the metal presses have add-ons for special things. So the assembly bay takes scrap, and we typically build metal beams out of it because then the metal beams and some other stuff go into processed construction materials or PCMs. So there's 2 ways that we can get this scrap into here. Right now there's 5 out of 5 orders that could be across a couple different things, but most of them are probably there. So we can right click, submit all, stockpile the materials factory. It'll put it up into this area in the public where all 5 of these orders, whatever they may be doing, will be, actually I think I have one right there. Yep. So I can change that down to here. So okay, we'll do this car, right click, and send it into there. The second car, another way you can get the materials in here is you can shift click, or you can single click to put a little bit in here, or you could shift click to put the entire inventory. So now my recipe is going to take from this 2,500 before it starts taking from up here. So if this is full with 32K, you can still then put more materials in this part of your building. And all 5 people can technically put 32K in here, so you can really stack up the resources. So that was the assembly bay. The metal press. The metal press, we typically would be building either of these recipes, but I think there's, oh no, I'm sorry, we're building the with Petro. So there's orders in. I'm going to take my order off, put it where it needs to be. There's no scrap in there now, but we could put a little bit in there. Metal press. So there's a bunch of orders probably taking this. So this time I'm gonna put it all in the public so that everybody can use from that. All right. So now we'll go to where the coal needs to be. Actually, the coke that we're getting from the coal is going into this building. The forge, I believe it's called. Yeah, the forge. So the forge is taking this coke. It's making our assembly materials. We also got one for Petro. So the coal gets refined in these 2 buildings, and then we bring the refined stuff back here. So this one, of course, has just the basic recipe. This one's got the double recipe. So I'm going to put it in a little in both. And that's pretty much your basic factory or facilities worker. So other tasks, you know, in the beginning of the war, along with this, would be making sure your power plants are full. You need the power. You also want to make sure that your maintenance tunnels have materials in them. So the maintenance tunnels, we're typically taking the M supplies out of this metal press, and hopefully by small gauge train with those new cars we'll be able to take it to the tunnels and deposit it much faster than we have in the past. It's been a real pain to get maintenance supplies into these maintenance tunnels. You can also see how many per hour we're consuming. If you come in and everything's all like broken down and gone to hell, you get your hammer out, you press F, You can see who built it, what the health is at, and it also shows you a line of what maintenance tunnel it's pulling from. So if everything's busted, you can get your hammer out, see what maintenance tunnel you got to go to fill up. So these are the new buildings. I haven't messed around with these much, but you know, as a factory worker, these are your basic factory buildings. These two coal buildings, and then these material factories. Material factories that get upgraded into different things. So the forge, we're making our assembly materials. The metal press, we're making construction materials. And then the assembly bay, we're making the metal beams. So as we tech up in tier, we'll have additional buildings in here for building the process construction materials and steel and super alloys and all that good stuff to make battle tanks. So again, this was just an overview of a task of being a facility worker and keeping these buildings supplied and power on and maintenance tunnels full. Thanks, everybody.